y'all, what's up? It's those wrestling girls. It's your girl, Krista B.
And Queen PR.
And we are here to let you know to tune into Old Face Wrestling because they're one of the best podcasts out. And we follow them, so you should too. So subscribe, hit that button, and listen for the latest in wrestling news. Later.
Hey, this is Sofia Lopez from Women of Wrestling, and you are watching Old Face Wrestling.
That's right. Oh, Face Wrestling. Listen to the podcast. Listen. They are Dark Side approved. Outlet approves it. Oh, Face Wrestling. I'll be listening. Will you?
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today on O Face Wrestling. This is your host JT, and today I am joined by Samantha Smart from Women of Wrestling. So thanks for joining us today, Samantha.
Yes, JT. Thank you for scheduling myself, Samantha Smart, the exalted deity of truth and knowledge on your O Face Wrestling program.
I love it. So, Miss Smart, I have a few questions for you. So first of all, tell me a little bit about your athletic background prior to coming into the wrestling industry.
Sure. Well, my athletic background started primarily in tennis, where I did go undefeated in college. Even while obtaining multiple degrees, nobody, not a single person, defeated me on that court. Now, I could start listing other athletic achievements, but it would be far more effective for you to just take note that I excel in everything: wrestling, gymnastics, tennis, soccer, Muay Thai, fencing, ice skating, water polo, rugby. This human shell has surpassed its limits. The next task at hand would be to improve the nature of athletics, likely by combining cybernetics and CRISPR genetic editing. As you know, CRISPR technology is in its infancy, but I have been at the forefront of this technology. So I am working on altering DNA. In layman's terms, by mastering the sport of genetic alterations, I can begin all sorts of athletic endeavors.
Wow, that was very impressive right there. A little bit complicated for me to comprehend. I'm not as smart as you, but that is why you are Samantha Smart. I
Yes,
love it.
you can re-listen later and try to figure it out.
I will definitely have to do that. So, next question I have for you: how did you get into Women of Wrestling?
Well, you can, I'll try to keep this more simple for you. You can just understand that I have already conquered so many realms and industries, and everybody needs a challenge, even me. And as per Sam Harris's request, I was conducting a private TED Talk for the tech community, elite, and scientists at JPL, and someone brought WOW to my attention. So I was interested in what my colleague was showing me. I did my due diligence, of course. And then I reached out to WOW, and David McLean and Jeannie Buss were smart to accept my meeting very promptly. And they hired me on the spot to improve their operations as executive manager. I needed a platform and a testing ground for my goals. And WOW needed someone with a true, real superpower, which is intelligence.
Awesome. So what exactly do you do for them to help them out?
Yes, well, it's a lot. My duties are vast. As in every aspect of life, when you're good at things, people ask you to do more. It's, survival for them, really. So my responsibilities are overarching. One could say that WOW exists because of me. I started off doing basic things: operations, organizing, setting up events, making sure people are on time. I work alongside David McLean just to make sure that things run smoothly. And the longer I'm with WOW, the more responsibility I gain, the more power I gain. And I think that popular saying is true. The smartest thing you can do is to hire someone smarter than yourself. And in that, David McLean has actually done something right for once. Good job, David.
Yeah, he did a very good job with that. Because I do know that at one point, Women of Wrestling were a streaming service thing on the internet. Now they're on TV. Is that your doing?
Yes, every move you see WOW make is because of me. I am devising a greater plan. It is no coincidence that it has become far more successful since I joined.
And what are some of your future goals for the company? Like, what more do you want to accomplish with Women of Wrestling?
Um, well, of course, you want to know my wrestling goals. Well, WoW is but a mere chess piece of plans on my grander scale. You see, oh, sorry, I've Berkshire Hathaway beeping in. Let me get them to go away. Like I said, it's a chess piece in my plan of my grander scale. In a world full of ignorance and stupidity, my purpose is simply to enlighten humans with knowledge. It's a cosmological charity that transcends space and time, and you are all welcome.
Awesome. And so the last question I have for you too is, I know right now you're representing the disciplinarian.
Mhm.
Out of all the wrestlers in Women of Wrestling, why did you pick her to represent?
Well, you see, my goals out of the ring and in the ring are the same, to yield results. So I need to pick proxies that will give me a high ROI. It's an investment for me. And I started off doing this by means of the disciplinarian because it seemed like a really obvious starting point. I mean, the whole roster lacks discipline. So why not start with a tool that I can put alongside my intelligence to help enforce that?
Yeah, it sounds like a perfect fit. Like, I'm personally a big fan of her character, and you aligning with her seems just like the perfect duo, in my opinion.
Yes, it was a very smart play by me.
Yes, it was.
Mhm.
And as far as your character and your role in Women of Wrestling, how did you come up with kind of like your character?
Character? I don't really get that question. Do you think IQ Superior is a game? A facade? You see, WoW found me, JT. I'm an outstanding individual, and they are lucky that my persona is naturally superior. I don't need to be turned into a superhero. I already am one. And the results of my intellect are almost unbelievable. You are right in that. So I can see why an IQ inferior could become confused. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I think it makes a little sense to me.
Well, great.
All right, well, Miss Samantha Smart, that wraps up this interview. I got all my questions answered and in a very detailed manner, so I love it. I love how you were very specific about everything. So yeah, thank you again for joining us today on O Face Wrestling.
You're welcome, and be sure to keep updated on @WoW Superheroes on all social platforms.
Absolutely, and make sure that you all follow us on O Face Wrestling on Twitter and Facebook to keep up to date with Women of Wrestling. We live tweet every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Once again, thank you so much again, Samantha.
Farewell.